Hi, and welcome to Homegrown Health, the show that's going to help you take your health back into your own hands. I'm Chris, and this is my wife Jen, and together we're going to journey on a quest to better health.
And together we're going to look at the benefits of whole foods, herbs, and spices, and see what they do in our bodies, how they affect us, and how they nourish us. And then we're also going to give you tips and ideas on how to incorporate your whole family into building a relationship with your food.
So the Homegrown Health is really like how your grandparents used to eat. It's a more simplified, clean version of the food.
They knew what was in it and where it came from, and that's what we're trying to get back to. We want to get a more simplified, clean eating, natural diet.
Now, the more information you have, the better you're armed, the better decisions that you can make about your food.
Yeah.
So over the years, we've really become dependent on aftercare, prescriptions, and worrying about what the symptoms are of our illness instead of worrying about preventing the leak before it starts.
Right, and a typical American family spends about $20,000 out of the pocket on medical expenses per year, and that's without any serious medical conditions.
So with that being said, let's take a look at how our how we can take healthcare back into our own hands.
So whether you're vegetarian, vegan, gluten-free, or just love your dairy meat and eggs, that is fine. What we want to do is just try to get a more plant-based diet and foods into your lifestyle.
So I have an analogy that I often use. To keep a car running in tip-top condition and out of the shop, you need to have regular maintenance on it, use the proper fuel, check the fluid levels, and you want to use the better gas. And then when it comes to our bodies, we kind of take the back seat to all that. And we run through the drive-through, or we throw something together really quick, and we're not too concerned about the nutrition or the fuel that we're putting into our bodies at that point.
So you wouldn't want to go out and buy a car that looks beautifully on the outside but doesn't work on the inside. And that's kind of what we're doing with our bodies. You know, we spend all this money on chemicals and products to beautify the outside of us, but really health starts from the inside out. So what we're going to do now is we're going to learn about some whole foods and see what they actually do for our body.
So let's look at the whole foods and ways to incorporate them into our diet. The whole food refers to food that's at its closest natural form, that hasn't been processed, it hasn't been stripped of its minerals and its vitamins, and it's just the way nature intended. So we're going to take that and kind of get a relationship with that again and understand how it's going to feed our body and nourish us, and then maybe what are the health benefits of it.
So these foods provide the vitamins, the minerals, the nutrients, calcium, iron, and everything that our body needs to function at its top ideal peak. And so when those foods are processed, that's what we're losing. The high temperatures, the additives, the bleaching products, the anti-clumping products. What that all does is it actually decreases the amount of healthy nutrients that your body needs to perform at its tip top.
And then your body doesn't have those nutrients that it needs to heal itself naturally. You'd be really surprised about getting a wide range of fruits and vegetables in there, spices and herbs, and having the minerals that your body needs to take care of itself. If you actually get all those in there in a rainbow variety of fruits, or a rainbow variety of colors and shapes, the colors represent different minerals that are in those vegetables or those fruits. So if you're eating a rainbow that has one color in it and you're really sticking just to that one, you're missing out on all these other, the whole spectrum of nutrients and vitamins in there. So when we say a rainbow diet, we want all the colors that you can find, and the more the better.
Right, so with that being said, what we're going to do is we're going to look at the top 6 most commonly used herbs and spices in the kitchen and kind of find out what those do for your body, and you might be surprised actually.
So this segment is the pharmacy segment, the FARM, pharmacy. And now no way, shape or form are we suggesting that we are medically qualified. We're telling you to drop medications. We don't go to the doctor and go hug a tree or something like crazy.
Right, this is all preventative care. So if you already have a condition, talk to your doctor first before you take any of our advice and make sure and follow their instructions. But if you are okay and you're not on a lot of medications, then try to add some of these new foods into your diet and see how it makes you feel, and you can go from there.
Right. So the first one on our list is basil, and it tops the list because of the variety, the flavor can be used for. Everybody has had basil and oregano in their spaghetti sauce or on their pizza. It's pretty much like the staple of Italian food, right? But there's so much more that basil can do for us that you probably wouldn't have even guessed.
Yeah, nutritionally speaking, we've got vitamin A, B6, C, K. It has iron, potassium, magnesium, calcium, all the things that your body needs.
Also, one of my favorite things is it's 33% protein. So the plant-based protein is going to be absorbed into your body a lot easier than trying to break down like a whole solid piece of protein, where you're going to have to expel a lot of energy to break that down to get to these small bits of amino acids, which are what make up the protein. So with the basil having 33% of its makeup being protein, your body absorbs it a lot quicker. So the energy that you're saving on digesting it to get those nutrients, you're going to spend that energy on cleaning the house or working more or maybe just feeling better, you know?
Exactly. And it's got some awesome medicinal uses too. Now there's definitely more than just this, but one of my favorite things is it's a natural anti-inflammatory,
right,
which means if you're a person that gets headaches or you've got sore joint pain or migraines even, you can chew on a couple leaves, or you can actually boil water and make tea and just add a couple leaves to that, and it will help gently relieve that headache that you've got.
Now the medicine that we have as prescriptions today are derived from natural resources. They look at, everybody knows, or the most common one is Tylenol, aspirin, and the acetaminophen in it was discovered by accident as a mold, right? So they copied what they saw in nature and they were able to put a patent on that, and then that becomes medicine. So we're going back to the basis of where this medicine is coming from. The enzyme that's in basil actually is, it affects your system the way acetaminophen does in Tylenol. So when we're talking about headaches or joint pain and anti-inflammatory, it does the same thing as they say on the commercials of regulating your joint pain or discomfort or something like that. So
yeah, so next time you have a headache, grab a handful of basil instead of an aspirin and just see if that works for you. It's healthy alternatives. That's what we're talking about. We're not trying to get rid of your favorite foods or, you know, your pizza, your pasta. That stuff is great, and you want to live a happy and healthy life, but just try to switch out a couple of the things and make it a bit more healthy.
So next on our list is cilantro.
My favorite.
Your favorite?
It's my favorite.
If you've ever been to a Mexican restaurant, you've probably encountered cilantro once, twice, maybe the entire meal. The salsa has cilantro in it, the small pieces of green. And when I was a kid, I always remember it had a weird taste to it, and I could never figure it out. And I was always trying to pick out the little pieces of green in there and getting in trouble for playing with all the food on my plate. And come to find out, it was just cilantro. Never knew until I got older. And turns out, like my wife said, it's one of our favorites to incorporate everywhere. It has vitamin A, C, and K in it. It helps lower blood sugar and lowers the bad cholesterol, while it raises the good cholesterol. So it has both sides of the whole cholesterol story right there wrapped up into one.
So I mean, a lot of these things, this basil and the cilantro, you know, it's really easy to make all your favorite meals and toss this on fresh at the end. And that's what's important too, is you want to try to eat as much fresh, raw, whole foods as you can, because you get the most out of them nutritionally when they're in their natural state. Because like I said, when you start to cook them, you will decrease. It's not that they're null and void, but you do definitely get a lot more from your fresh herbs.
Right, so I think like you said, at the end, it really goes with any Mexican food. I think that's where everybody's pretty much going to have
salad, salsas.
Salad is where we chop that and basil at the end of the salad. You got everything chopped up and ready to go. Chop up a bunch of fresh herbs, chives even, and throw them on your salad and get them raw in that way. And if you can't maybe figure out a way to incorporate them in a recipe or something you're eating, you can always chop them up fresh. You could put them on something you do get if you're going through, don't have time, you have to go for fast food or something real quick. You can still chop up fresh herbs and spices and throw them on at the end, and you still get the benefits of them.
Right. So next we're going to go into chives, which is another staple, easy to find everywhere. Chives are a lot like cilantro. They lower your blood sugar. They also lower your bad cholesterol while raising your good cholesterol. But the cool thing about chives is that they actually clean your digestive tract as they go through your body. So by cleaning your digestive tract, what that does, it's basically like a rotor-rooter for your body. You know, every now and then you really need to clean it out and get everything functioning properly. So by eating a few chives, which if you're not big on onions, chives are a really good substitute because they've got that slight oniony flavor without being overpowering.
I think everybody's also heard of them as wild onions too.
Yeah.
If you've been out in the field or you've been cutting your grass or something like
smell
that,
it.
and you run over the top of them, and yeah, you're going to get the smell of onion. And you can cut it all the way down. There's a small ball at the end, and that's where the flavor of the onion gets a little more distinct. But at the top on the green part, it's a little more mild.
Yeah. So while it goes through and cleans your digestive tract, what it's actually doing is it's ridding your body of the bacteria, the buildup of yeast, and actually fungi that is in your tract and your GI system. And so that is another easy one to add to stuff. Everybody knows it as a great potato topper.
Right, well, just back to the digestive tract, the reason it does help out with your digestive system is that when it cleans the walls of your digestive tract, it's easier for nutrients to be absorbed into your system. So if you have, a straw that's coated with wax on the inside, or fungus or bacteria, and you try to put food through there, and you're thinking, it's all going to slide through really quick. There's not going to be a lot of the porous part of your digestive system, like leaching that out and getting those nutrients into your system. So what we're doing is cleaning that out, scrubbing that out from the inside, so that way we're able to accept more of the nutrients that are in the foods that we're eating.
Exactly, yeah. So the next one is garlic. Garlic is one of the most powerful foods that you can use to add to really anything.
Or keeping away vampires, if that's your thing.
That's Chris's favorite.
That's
good job, babe. So anyways, garlic is actually one of the best foods on the planet to help prevent and reverse diseases in the body because of its antibacterial properties, and it's also an anti-inflammatory as well.
And again, we're mainly focusing on the preventative side. So if you have something and you're taking a medication for something that you have, that's where you need to be and consulting with your doctor. But if we're healthy and we don't have anything, then having the fresh garlic in there to kind of stimulate our body cells, and it really, if you've ever had fresh raw garlic, it has more of a potent spice to it, right?
It's a bit spicy.
Right.
Yeah.
So you can cook it down, and you can still get most of the benefits from garlic, and it takes away a lot of that pepper bite that it has to it. But then if you want, take maybe half of it or a quarter of it out before you cook it, and then throw it in at the end. So you're still going to get the raw benefits of it, because that really is where the key parts of these spices and herbs lie at, is the raw part of them.
Yeah, and over time your taste buds will adjust to everything that you throw at it. So if it's a little too spicy, like he said, just take a little bit out and add it to the end of it. Then as time goes on, you can add more to it. But another great benefit to raw garlic is if you're looking to lose weight, or if you're in the process of losing weight, raw garlic actually stimulates the healthy fat cells, which you do have healthy and bad fat cells, but it will stimulate the healthy ones and help burn away the fat faster. So that is great to add, again, to salads, pastas, really anything raw garlic can go into.
Right. I make hot sauce, and garlic goes in every single time. It has a really distinct flavor in there, and it's actually, when we were doing research for the show, I know that you found a garden use for garlic, didn't you?
Oh yeah. Actually, garlic is one of the best insect repellents that there is. There are like no bugs or pests that will attack the garlic bulb itself. So it's really easy. All you do, and I can put this up on my website, all you do is you take the fresh raw garlic and you combine it with a little bit of warm water, blend it up, and you spray that directly on your plants, and that will help repel any insects that are going to try to get on your plant, and even deer too. So if you have a deer problem, you can do that.
So next on our list of herbs and common spices in the kitchen is salt. This is one of the most readily available in anybody's kitchen, I would say. Way back when the whole spice trade started with salt, that was the big thing. The world revolved around salt and flavoring the food. And the reason why it's on the list, obviously, because everybody has it, but it's so important and so vital to our system. It has minerals, nutrients, and everything that
it's got 84 minerals
believe.
and trace elements to it, which is amazing. But it's funny because you'd never think that salt would be such an extensive topic. But when I was doing my research, it's amazing at how many differences there are. So everybody knows the regular white table salt. That white table salt has been bleached. It has had additives to make it anti-clumping and all kinds of things. And it's also been heated over 1,200 degrees.
So as far as the eating your raw spices or herbs and everything, it's about 110 to 117 degrees where the enzymes and the nutrients and everything start to break down, and then they're lost by evaporation, right? So if you think 1,200 degrees, almost 12 times, 10 times more heat than you would even want on a lot of your food, and then everything that you're going to have in there is going to be eliminated.
Yeah, and here's the crazy part about salt. So when they heat up that salt to 1,200 degrees, and as I said, salt naturally has 84 minerals and trace elements to it. After they do the processing, there is 0 left. So then over the years, there is a disease called goiter, which is a pretty obvious disease. So what they started doing was adding the iodine back, only one of the minerals out of 84 back to that salt. And that prevents that goiter disease that your body needs. So they did that just to kind of get by with it. But so there is a good side to this. There are healthy salts out there, and they are available at any store that you have. So what you want to look for is Celtic sea salt, which is just like it sounds. It is sea salt. It is raw, unrefined, and hand-mined.
Right.
And it's got kind of a sandy brownish color to it, and that's how you know that the minerals are in there, because white salt is the telltale is the sign that all the minerals have been lost. So the Celtic salt is one, but our favorite, because it's got more flavor to it, is actually called the Himalayan pink salt. It is actually pink. And that is hand-harvested, raw, and unrefined from the Himalayan pink salt mines. And that contains all 84 minerals and trace elements that your body needs.
So it goes back to my my earlier analogy of a rainbow, and you're going to have a rainbow of 84 colors, and we want as many colors as we can get into our system. So the 84 minerals is a giant rainbow. It's beautiful. You got all these colors going in, all these minerals going in, and then your white table salt has like a light blue color, and then the rest of the 83 are all white. And then all you're going to be taking in is that one light blue mineral, and then your body's going to be craving it. So you're going to crave more salt, actually, because you're wanting the mineral from the salt, but then you think that you just want the flavor of the salt. And if you've ever had table salt and put that on your tongue, after a minute it starts to burn. If you've had a lot of potato chips, and you get that really raw feeling on your tongue. Well, the Celtic salt actually has such a flavor to it. Like, putting it on your tongue raw, it's a completely different taste and a different flavor than you would normally get.
Yeah, definitely. And that's what I was going to say, too, was the full spectrum salts, which are the salts with all the minerals and trace elements in it, are, like I said, they will always have color to it. So it's really easy to find. If it's white, it's not good for you. And your body, like he started to say, once you start to clean your body and really listen to it, your body is going to send out alerts and signals to you. So when you're craving salt, what that is your body is actually telling you that you are lacking minerals and nutrients that you need. So instead of going for that white table salt, just throw some Celtic on there or some pink Himalayan, and that is 100 times better than just the regular white table salt.
And it's one of the most common, so it's definitely very important, and it's something that everybody should have in their home for cooking.
Yeah.
So next on our list after salt was another big surprise, I should say. It was black pepper. So we've got the right hand to salt, as always, pepper, and this really surprised a lot of things that we found out about it. It helps with the digestive tract as well.
Yeah, it's a high antioxidant. It's antibacterial once again. I mean, all these natural things, they help cure your body. So the more that you can incorporate, the more you're going to do. If you can't do all of the things, just add a little bit. Change your salt out, change your pepper out. It's as easy as that. But the cool thing about pepper now is that the minute that the pepper actually touches your tongue, it sends an alert to your body, and it will start upping the production of the hydrochloric acid, which is the acid in your body that breaks down all of the foods. So by increasing that, what that is again going to do is start to clean your digestive tract out. So you get better absorption from the nutrients that you're getting from all your other foods.
Right. So it also adds a good amount of spice to the food. A lot of the recipes that we make with our kids, they're really onto pepper all of a sudden, and they're onto hot sauces and spicing everything up. So we kind of brought them in with the whole ground pepper. The shelf life of pepper is about 3 months after it's been ground, to where it still has that enzyme in it that helps with your, did you say hydrochloric acid?
Yeah, it increases the hydrochloric acid.
Okay, I don't want to get the wrong acid in there, but it goes away after about 3 months. So if you have the fresh ground pepper and the whole peppercorns, and you have those sitting on the shelf, they last, I think, indefinitely, don't they?
Yeah, pretty much indefinitely if you buy the whole peppercorns. If you buy the pre-ground, obviously it's not going to mold or anything. You could, most people have had the pepper in their cabinet for years, if not, longer. But after 3 months, it starts losing its potency, so it's going to taste the same, but the benefits that your body is going to receive is going to decrease significantly after that 3-month mark.
Right.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I think that about covers it on pepper, too. So what we're really talking about, again, to just kind of recap, we're really wanting to get back to everybody has a good relationship with the food. The way your grandparents ate, they knew what to put in, when, and where. They had all these wild recipes that you would never even think about.
Home remedies.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, this is a home remedies backed by more science, so that way we understand why your grandmas or grandfathers or great-grandparents' remedies worked, or why their food was like healing food more than it is today, right? So we want to get back to hand in hand with our food, growing your garden if you can, having these things readily available right outside. And if not, hitting up a farmer's market. We always recommend using fresh herbs over dried herbs, but we do keep dried herbs and use those just as much. You still get health benefits from them. They still have a lot of the same properties. They're just not as potent. They're not full of the tip-top amount of vitamins or minerals that you would find in raw.
Yeah.
But we still keep those around. We still use those in all of our cooking. And we also would like to have organic whenever we could. We're not going to go into a big topic on organic this time, or hope to have another show on it later. But it has to deal with having pesticides and all those things in our system, and having to clean them out later on. So,
right. So what we're really looking at is, it's not a whole diet change. What it is a lifestyle change. If you can't do everything, don't worry about it. It's okay. But the best thing to do is do a little bit. Do as much as you can. So if it's just trying one new fruit or vegetable, or incorporating it into your meal a week, that's
as
great.
Much as you can.
At least you're making a step towards better health. And that's what we're all about. We don't know everything, and we're looking forward to learning more with you guys.
Yes, this first show was actually a lot of fun. The next show we're going to delve in and kind of get off more on a quick start, and not have so much talking and explaining about the show or about our subjects and everything. So if you have any comments, or you have any questions, maybe you have an idea for a show, feel free to hit us up, maybe email the show, or call in, and we'll try to get to everything that we can.
Yeah, so for the very end of it, we're going to have a segment, and it's called Sprouts Corner, and it's our two girls, and that is the part of the show where we're going to try to incorporate the rest of your family. So if you guys want to check out this video, Taylor and Rowan are going to show you how to incorporate some of these herbs into a really easy recipe that they love. So thank you guys so much for tuning in, and we look forward to talking with you again. Bye.
Hi, I'm Taylor, and this is Rowan. Hi. And we're going to show you how to make our guacamole. Easy, 1, 2, 3. We're going to need these 8 ingredients. Pepper, black pepper, red pepper, some cilantro, lime, avocado, chives, some garlic, and pink salt. First, we're going to take the avocado and dump it in and mash it up. Next, we're going to put some cilantro in. Next, we're going to put in our chives. Next we have our garlic. Keep on mixing. Next we have our pepper. We have our salt. And then we have our lime. Now you get to eat the guacamole. Try it, you might like it. Try it, you might like it. Bye, everybody. Bye.